Hey everyone, welcome back to another Path of Excel 2 market analysis video. So if you're totally new to these kinds of things, I highly recommend that you subscribe to this channel because we'll have daily uploads on the market situation and also on other profit strategies that you can use to make a lot of divines by simply investing into different currencies, right? And if you don't want to have any hassle, so if you want to have even more comfort, I recommend that you check out the Discord server in the video description, where you'll find the fund info channel for the fund investments category. And right here, we basically explain how we have implemented a fund in Path of Excel 2, where you can put your currency towards, and then we'll grow it for you. There will be, in addition to that, there will be daily uploads, daily updates right here, where you can basically see how much your wallet has grown, right? So, for example, in the last 3 days, we made about 22% in total. So if you had invested at the beginning and you were still in the fund right now, you would be at 200 and so for 100 divine investment, you would be at 122, right? And someone like this guy, for example, he put in 50 first, then that grew to 58, and then he put in an additional 162.96. I hope you can see these small numbers because it's kind of even small for me. And then he went to 221, and through that period he is now at 233.34 divines total. So yeah, you can also just simply check this out. If you are interested in that, go ahead and click on the Discord in the video description. And now let's get started with the analysis itself. So if you want to analyze the market, you'll have to do something like we have done. This is going to be accessible also in the video description, where we basically categorized every single currency and the different ratios between the currency exchange rates, right? And then we analyzed it, and now you can look at these two graphs. This is the short-term development graph, and this is the long-term development graph. So if you look at the short-term development graph, there's a couple of things happening. So first of all, the omen of sorry, let's get this really quick. If I can click on this properly. Usually when you hover over it, yes, yeah. So for the omen of dextral null, which we invested in a lot, which you also just saw in the game, we basically have this up and down thing going on, right? And now this has been in a very low period, and now it's going to go up again. So we invested right here, and we can still invest right now to get some profit there. And out of all the other things, something that's quite notable is the omen of whittling going up by 130%. So these graphs are in relative value and in percent. So if something is at 130, it increased 30% in relative value to everything else, right? So this omen is highly overvalued right now. The omen of whittling is going to go down again. That's a very sure prediction. And the divine orb is also going to increase in value again. That's only logical, right? Because the divine orb usually never has a low like this, where it decreases in value. This was kind of because of a Chinese crafting spree and also a lot of player numbers, right? So this is very, very rare, and it usually means that after that we'll have a lot of divine increases. So divine is also going to increase in value. And to look at the long-term developments, we can basically see that the chaos remains the best currency for long-term investments because it has the best score for increase in value over a long time. Though if you're really trying to make profit like we are, it's not going to suffice to simply have everything in chaos, right? It's just something basic to keep to when a new league starts or something. Put your stuff in chaos orbs, right? And the second is the fracture orb, which is also quite high. And then there's something like the omen of sinistral null and the divine orb, which also performs very well. And I must say that something like the mirror is really not a good currency to invest in. While it might be very, very expensive, it does have the worst or the second worst score besides the Dexter Eraser Omen, which is now slightly worse, but the mirror was for some time even the worst currency considering long-term value gain. So yeah, don't put anything in the mirror and keep something in chaos and maybe fracture orbs. And I also recommend to get yourself some omens of Sinistral, of Dextral on null, and we have also done that in the fund, right? If you look at the fund value calculations, this has been refreshed, by the way. If you are someone that has watched the previous videos, I had to change some things in this document to properly make these all of these wallets, right? Because there were so many people that were putting divines in here. We're already at 2,702 total divine value. So if we look at this, right, we can see there is kind of something going on with the stash distribution that we have, where we have 50% in divines, we have 1% in chaos, right? Because chaos usually good investment, but not really for making a lot of profit. Dextral null, we got 50% of total stash in those, because those are going to rise in value, right? So yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you stayed until the end, that means that you are part of the 5% that watch my videos to the end, which I want to thank you very much for. So I see you guys in the next one. Like and subscribe. I'm out.